In decision-making and problem-solving, two core thinking styles, top-down and bottom-up, shape how we approach the world and make an impact. Understanding which one you naturally lean towards can help you play to your strengths or spot where you might have blind spots. Are you naturally a top-down thinker, or do you prefer a bottom-up approach? Or are you that rare person who can do both well? They can see the big picture, dive into the nitty-gritty details to get there, prioritizing the right steps, adapting as new data and insights emerge. In my experience, most people lean heavily towards one style. But with time and experience tackling hard problems, you can build up that side that doesn't come as naturally. Personally, I'm a big picture, top-down thinker. The advantage here is I can see broader connections which help me shape different visions of how I like the world around me to look. But the downside to that, as a top-down thinker, you can get lost in those connections, distracted by new ideas or overwhelmed by inspiration, ending up trying to do everything and achieving nothing. Living too much in the big picture is, no pun intended, a big problem. Thinking deeply and connecting different ideas can unlock new value, spark concepts that challenge the status quo, but you need to be able to execute on those ideas, starting with the smallest blocks. It's about building a solid foundation from the ground up that can actually support the big ideas. Some people are highly detail-oriented and practical. They excel at diving into the nitty-gritty details, doing the tasks in front of them. They are pure execution machines. Bottom-up thinkers start by focusing on small details, using building blocks to piece together a larger context. By executing within a smaller picture and working closely with data, they gradually build up to understanding the broader picture over time. But sometimes the bigger picture doesn't fully come together. Or you end up executing in circles, especially when you follow the wrong breadcrumbs that don't lead anywhere meaningful. There's no right or wrong here. Both types of thinking are critical to creating value, achieving goals, and collaborating across different teams. These frameworks can help navigate leadership, management dynamics, or make sense of why you might be clashing with someone who approaches problems from the opposite angle. In my early venture building days, I clashed with a colleague. I wanted to align tasks with a broader goal. They preferred rapid execution of checklists. Looking back, combining our approaches would have given us both direction and momentum. Neither of us were necessarily right or wrong. Sometimes just working through a list, even if it doesn't align perfectly with the bigger goal, can provide clarity. And at other times, stepping back to see if those checklist items serve the larger context can save time. Narrowing down a set of actionable items that ties to a broader understanding would have helped us better gauge if we were on the right track towards our goals. In rare cases, you come across people with the superpower of seeing both the big picture and the smaller essential details. They grasp a broad context, shape a vision, and make that vision a reality. It's uncommon, but the best founders I've met have this ability. While this skill can be developed over time by solving tough problems and creating substantial value for many or deep value for a few, some people are just naturally wired for this kind of agility. That said, most people lean towards either being a top-down, big-picture thinker or a bottom-up, detail-oriented person. When I assess founding teams, I look at which type each founder embodies and how they make it work. If both founders share the same thinking style, I pay attention to how they've built the rest of their team to balance any gaps, ensuring value keeps flowing and that they can iterate towards longer-term success. Given how rare it is to excel at both, it's worth thinking about your partner's style and whether you complement each other. If you're the same type, consider how you overcome the limitations that come with it. On the flip side, partners with inherently different thinking styles might clash how they execute or move forward. Here, figuring out the right communication style, shared business language, and understanding each other's perspectives are key. If you find yourself clashing, it's possible that the conflict stems from these different approaches to problem solving. But if you can overcome these differences, the potential unlock is powerful. You'll be able to create a richer, more robust strategy that's grounded both in vision and execution, making it far more likely you'll accrue real value over time instead of getting lost in details or drifting aimlessly in the big picture. So which thinking style defines you? Reflecting on your approach can help you strengthen your strategic focus or execution skills. When have your natural tendencies served you well, and when have they held you back? Knowing this can help you understand where you might need to adapt or bring in complementary skills, especially when working with people who think differently from you. If you lean top-down, how often do you take a step back to make sure the foundations are solid? If you're a bottom-up thinker, are you making sure all those details add up to something meaningful in the bigger picture? The more you understand your own style and the style of others around you, the better you can navigate the complexities of problem solving, collaboration, and ultimately creating something that lasts.